Hello and welcome to Sincere Tarot. This is your What Do You Need to Know for November. Pick a card, so pick 1, 2, or 3. Whatever number resonated with you the most, go to that timestamp and then there will be a collective reading at the end. So let's start with group 1. What does group 1 need to know for November? Lots of wands, lots of heat and fire. So it's going to be a little bit intense, a little bit spiritually, I would say, and just with your integrity and maintaining the high ground. So your energy for this month is coming up as the 7 of Wands, Valor. That is, from my perspective, keeping the high ground spiritually, intuitively, with what feels right, just this knowing in your body. Keeping the high ground no matter what other people or other situations are around you, and you will be rewarded for this, okay? Because this is a testament to your strength, your integrity. This has something to do, the energy in the past, what you're needing to keep the high ground with, and maybe being a little bit unique with your perspective as well, and the way that you see things. But the energy in the past leading into this month is, for what you need to know, is the 3 of Wands, virtue. So I feel like this is a few things. One, you've already kind of kept the high ground with the situation in the past somewhat. Now you're having to a lot more, right? But it's bringing out the best of you and that inner strength that you have, because what you need to know is lust. And this is also known as the strength card in many other decks. So that's using your intuition, your strength, your animal instinct to rise above no matter what. So the energy in the past, the 3 of Wands, you may have begun to move forward with a creative project or just some sort of direction in your life, a new territory, you know, they've been planning, but this 3 of Wands is taking that first step into going towards in that new direction, right? But now you're having to maintain your integrity, your inner strength is totally coming out, and it's a spiritual thing because you have spiritual strength, and that's so necessary during these trying times. The energy around this, what this might have something to do with, is the Prince of Cups. This can represent a young male, a water sign male. It could be someone in your family. It could be a potential love interest. But the Prince of Cups can be a little bit finicky, sometimes a bit manipulative. Sometimes when people don't emotionally understand themselves completely, they can almost subconsciously project that onto other people. Could be something like that. But it could also be something that you have been emotionally invested in for quite some time. The outcome, and this is great, is the Queen of Wands. You are not budging. You are sticking true to your guns, what's right for you. You are more than maintaining your authenticity, your integrity. You are not compromising yourself or your beliefs. You're making it known what you believe in and what's important to you, and that's amazing. So yeah, your spiritual strength is really coming out because of this situation. And that's the big message I'm getting right now. Now, what the situation may have been about that has tested your strength, and you have succeeded, you are succeeding in this, it's being aspected by the 8 of Swords, interference. And swords are mental beliefs, thoughts, things like that. Often a lot, and what this is a very blocked energy. So this could be with you, or with someone else. I'm feeling like it's the other person or the other situation, because it could be an institution and not just necessarily a person, like a group of people. But regardless, what you need to know about that's really making you tap into your amazing inner strength is that this other person is like, they're mentally blocked, they're mentally trapped, they're holding themselves back because they're very closed-minded. And when they are not getting their way, they can shut down. So this person or organization is shutting down, not listening, and but it's just making you rise to the occasion even more. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and you are getting tough. And I think also one of the things that you're learning, we've got the 4 of Swords. I think that you're learning just to be calm and to take time out to yourself when you need it, to create that peace, no matter what chaos is going in the world outside of you that might be causing your mental stress, that you can still find that clarity, that hope. You can still calm your mind, and you might be taking some time to just rest and take care of yourself mentally, if that means sleeping more, resting more, just having more you time, nourishing yourself, whatever it takes for you to be mentally calm and collected. You're doing that, and you deserve it. Wow. Interesting. So something did not work out the way that you wanted it to with this situation, and I feel like it may have caused a bit of chaos in your life. Okay, remember this is an aspecting card, so it's not like the main one. The main one is that you are rising above this no matter what. Your belief system might change, your work situation might have changed, your living situation might have changed. Ideas with spirituality, just any type of belief system, something that you thought was one way and now it's not, it's just completely crumbled. That might have been a rude awakening. But you know what? You are going to win in the end. If you're waiting for a financial payback, if you're waiting for a contract, if you're waiting for an offer of commitment or, an inheritance, some sort of money payout, whatever, you will get that. You will get that for sure from this situation. So for example, if you lost money with an organization, if there's like insurance or whatever, like you will get that chunk of it back. Yeah, and look, we've got another strength card, the 9 of Wands. So there might be one more kind of challenge coming your way regarding the situation, but you are more than capable of overcoming it, and you are backed by spirit as well. You've got, the spirit world, your spiritual strength to help you out with this. Let's do a few advice cards. All right, so the first advice card is the Ace of Cups. Always, this might sound trite, but this is what's coming up. Always follow your heart and what feels right for you, but also, self-love. You need to fill your own cup first before you try and please others or help others. So some of you, for example, might be a people pleaser. You might really realize that like the way to truly love the world and everyone is to first love yourself, because you're a part of this world, each of us individually. Make sure it feels emotionally right in your heart. The second advice card, we've got the Prince of Wands. You're going to say things that are going to upset people. You're going to do things that are going to upset people, and they might look at you as being reckless. But you know what? This is saying, go for it. You might kind of step on a few people's toes. Maybe you wish you had said or done things a little bit differently, but you're moving forward with what spiritually feels right for you. And yeah, you're listening to your intuition. And it might be a little bit of, learning curves and things like that. But that's great. You're growing up in that sense, like speaking your truth, acting in your truth, being in your truth. The third advice card, we've got the Knight of Swords. When it comes to communication, you want to be extremely direct and to the point. So for example, if there's like a particular disagreement with a person or an organization, you need to just kind of just keep it on the point, on the point, on the point. You might even want to just focus on one thing. What's the most important thing that you want to prove or communicate or express? Just stick to that one thing and have blinders off and do not veer from that point, just to get your communication across properly. Let's do one more big advice kind of energy card. The 8 of Pentacles, prudence. All of this will pay off. Your hard work will pay off. If you're worried about money, money will get better. Just keep focusing on building your wealth. Maybe having passive income so your wealth is growing. This could even represent a garden, just what physical things, not just money, physical things that we need for survival, like our home and our physical health. Just keep growing, keep working on that. It absolutely will pay off sooner than you know it. All right, next time for group 2. Hello, group 2. All right, so what does my lovely group 2 need to know for November? Let's see. Interesting. You're coming up as the same energy as group 1 with that 7 of Wands. But everything else is, almost everything else is looking different. But it's interesting because I feel like with the wands that are kind of coming up so far, a lot of people are tapping into their spiritual energy, their spiritual knowing, and I feel like that's what's happening to you, and it's not been an easy path. So the energy you're coming up with right now is the 7 of Wands, Valor. So that is maintaining your integrity even when the odds are against you, even when it's like you're being almost attacked, challenged from different aspects of your life. You are maintaining your integrity, you're taking the high road, and you're doing what's intuitively right and spiritually correct for you. And I feel like this is making you, it's forcing you in a good way overall kind of to tap into your intuition. I hope the ends justify the means, but it looks like that. Interesting. The energy in the past, we've got the Knight of Discs. So I feel like in the past, when it's come to money, finances, commitments, where you live, like just anything to do with like the physical realm. You've kind of been a little bit safe. I feel, and I think you've just kind of like done your own thing and you've never really been bothered. But now it's almost like you're being challenged or you've been betrayed with something that you were planning, because the energy around you is the Two of Wands. So this is about planning, like what direction you're going to go with a new aspect of your life. It could be a creative project, a number of things, but it's almost like new territory planning. I don't think you've taken any big action steps at this point, no big ones at least, because, and what you need to know is the Three of Swords, sorrow. This is a betrayal card. So I feel like someone may have lied to you. To be honest, this could also be a relationship. If this is a relationship, someone may have been unfaithful, but it can also be, a friend or family member that betrayed you, stabbed you in the back. But it could also be an organization as well, and you've always just been good. You've always done your own thing, and now it's you've been betrayed. So someone's lied to you, and it might have been more than one person. There might have been more than one person involved in the lie. The outcome, this is interesting because the outcome is well aspected. The outcome is the Magus, sometimes known as the Magician. And because it's well aspected, I think that you're really going to be taking ownership for yourself and really getting that ownership for you and your life and what you want and your direction. And it's not like in a negative, selfish way. It's just like maybe before you've just done what you learned to do when you were little and from your parents and school and everything. You're like, okay, I'm told to do this, I'll do this, I'm gonna stay safe and do this and be smart with money and decisions and blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, what is going on? And so I think you're really tapping into, your inner magician, your inner creator, right? Which is ultimately, creation energy from source through us. We're just a channel, okay? And you're really tapping into that. You are being aspected by the Eon, which is also known as the Judgment card in other decks. So this has been, you've really woken up. You see things the way that they are because of the situation, because of this betrayal. You can never unsee it. You see the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, and you're awake. This has almost been like an awakening. Sometimes it can be a judgment card, but also, so that's interesting. And interesting, the betrayal may have had something to do with a fire sign female, potentially an older female, potentially your mother or a mother energy, but it can also be a creative institution, something either to do with fame or art or any type of creativity at all. So it might have something to do with that, something you were planning to move forward and now you're being put in a difficult position, but well done, maintaining the high ground, and you're definitely seeing the situation for what it is, learning from it. There's going to be one more challenge, but you've got this. You see things the way that they are. You're backed by spirit. You just need to have all your ducks in a row, but I feel like you're already kind of doing that. It's interesting, this other person or organization or situation or whatever it is, there's actually a lot of internal drama and conflict. So if this is a person, like other people in their life, there's drama. If it's an organization, there's internal drama. Because of opposing belief systems, there's always people wanting to like one-up each other, and maybe they even almost like the challenge of being like, no, you're wrong and I'm right and blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't really seem, everyone's kind of battling, so it seems quite a bit dysfunctional. Yeah, everything. This is, don't worry about this card. The Death card just means the end of the cycle, because the way that you used to be is over. It's done. The safe, dependable, I'm going to do everything properly. You're not going to be like that. It's almost like the student in school who, always does their work, never gets in trouble, things like that. You do what you're taught that you're supposed to do, and then you get screwed over. So it's a rude awakening. You can't unsee it, and that is going to transform you. The old you that used to have that belief system and used to go in that direction, that part of you is almost like falling away. So what's the new? There's not going to be a big change straight away, but you're really going to think about this. You might be stuck in a situation for a little bit longer than you want to. However, being stuck in the situation will cause you to reflect, to ponder, to think, to see things in it from a different perspective, and also to be a lot more flexible to change. And it's not a fair situation you're in at all, but the situation is teaching you patience and wisdom. All right, let's get some advice cards for this situation. First advice card is the 7 of Discs, failure. So I think that you are feeling like, because maybe financially, physically, with things that you thought were secure, like where you live, stocks, relationships are a form of security. That's not just necessarily romantic, it's your community as well. I think you're kind of feeling in the dumps, you know, that things haven't worked out. Like you've never quite gotten exactly, like financially and with money and all the physical, exactly to where you want. So you feel like you're a failure, but you need to remember that you have accomplished a lot. Second advice card, we've got the 4 of Wands, completion. All of this is coming to a cycle that is closing. You will transcend, you will transform, and you will transform. It is happening. But also you might want to hang out at home a little bit more, or, you know, when I say home, you might want to like just connect with that, even if it's just like family over the telephone. Oh, I love this as an advice card. The 3 of Cups, you need to go out and have fun, hang out with friends and family, have a good time, just enjoy life, enjoy the relationships that we have, enjoy the things that we can do, and seek pleasure in those things. It's okay. So let's do one more big advice card for you, group 2. 2 of Discs. This is a change that's inevitable. It's actually kind of still up in the air. It could still go like one way or the other. You just need to think about which direction to go. And if you do have a split in the path of the road, I mean, it's not like there's just one particular way that you should go. I think both ways have their own value and merit and opportunities. All right, well, I hope you found that helpful. Let's move on to group 3. Hello, group 3. All right, so what does group 3 need to know for November? Interesting. Okay, you might be doing a little bit of celebrating after some time of not doing much. So the energy we have in the past is the Hanged Man, so being stuck, and it's not right. You are innocent. Excuse me. There's a little halo representing the innocent. So in the past, leading into this energy, you've been stuck in a situation that's totally unfair. And however, you have looked at things from a new perspective. You've become a lot more flexible and a lot more wise and kind of understanding and seeing things in a different way than ever before. If you hadn't been stuck in the situation, but it's almost like you've been sacrificed a little bit. Okay, forced to sacrifice. Okay, your energy right now is coming up as the 6 of Wands, victory. So I feel like you've overcome a lot of your challenges. You might be celebrating a actual victory, which a number of things that maybe something recently you've accomplished in your life, or just going out and just feeling like you have cause to celebrate with the community and people around you. What you need to know, this is interesting, but it's positively aspected, okay, is there is a secret. This also might have to do with, like, it's a secret within you, but within someone else. I'm feeling like someone else has a secret. It's not necessarily a bad thing at all, or they have a bit of information that you want to know. The energy in between you and this other person or situation, but I'm feeling like for most of you it's another person. It could be like a female or a mother figure, or just someone who's really in their feminine. The energy around it is the Knight of Discs. So I feel like you might be kind of letting this other person know that you want a relationship, or that you want to have a business part. Like, it could be romantic, it could be business partnership, it could be just like living together or whatever it is. But like you feel like you want to move forward with that person, and you've let them know, but they haven't given anything back. They've kept that information inside. They're being aspected by the Queen of Discs. So I feel like what they do, they are receptive to your offer, okay? And they do want that. They're just kind of thinking about, like, long term. Will this work out long term, not just short term? Because I think that they do want to. I mean, it looks, the outcome, is the 3 of Wands. And so I feel like it's you, the other person, and the union. You know, you followed your intuition. You've decided to try, to give it a go. You know, you've been talking about it, maybe planning about it, thinking about it, but now you're going to take that step forward, both of you. And I think it's going to be for you a little bit more challenging than what you realize, and it's mostly because of yourself. It might be some of the emotions that this person brings up in you, which come from you. This person does seem to be like a stable person, but they might just be quite reserved and keep their thoughts, emotions, and like their inner world kind of like they're a little bit private. Interesting. So I think that they're being aspected by fortune. So I feel like a few things. One, I don't think you expect for them to want to be with you at all. And that makes sense due to their nature, the way that they present themselves to you, which is not much at all. They've got a really good poker face. And yeah, but I feel like you're going to be quite surprised that they're going to want to move forward with you in this, whatever relationship this comes in the form of. Like, yeah, person, any type of relationship, institution, organization, whatever. Now, also, I think, yeah, and it might be quite lucky. You might feel it's lucky, but you struggle a little bit with sometimes like your thinking, and I think you might overthink things and overanalyze things, and you stress yourself out. I think that you can find this peace, but you have to do like a little bit of inner healing, and I think you can maybe do it with this person. But I feel like for a lot of you, it's you really struggle with your mindset. I think, yeah, you can just stress yourself out because you overthink things, and I do that too. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna just clarify one more thing. Okay, so what you need to do is to clear your mind. Like, no matter what chaos is happening in the world around you, or even and how it's affecting you mentally, you can always find that inner space of clarity. So you need to be able to find that space, whether it is having a bath, going for a walk, meditating, going for a run, like whatever it is that makes you clear your head, do that. When you find you're getting stressed, do that thing. Maybe come up with a list of a few things, and then when you get that way, do that, for example. But I think it'll be better when you are able to just clear your head and calm yourself down, and know that that peace comes from within, okay? And you can access that when you just clear your mind, focus on the breath. Let's do a few advice cards. The first advice card, we have got the universe. So, you know, you have accomplished so much in your life. This is a time you're about to level up, you know, you've just finished, and so it's cause to celebrate. So maybe that is why you're coming up as a 6 of Wands, celebration, victory, you know, so definitely do so, right? But you're moving on to something new. The second advice card, we've got the Emperor. You need to make sure that you've got healthy boundaries. You know, you do have a lot of experience, so, you know, you need to make sure people don't overstep their boundaries with you. You need to, you know, you are a very strong, experienced person, so. And the third advice card is the Queen of Swords. So you might almost want to detach mentally a little bit from your emotions, because I think you can get really wrapped up in your emotions. You'll feel a certain way, and then your head will just be like, blah, 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 if that makes sense. And yeah, so just whatever it is, to be able to realize, look, your emotions are important, your mind is important, but it's almost like they're in a codependent relationship. And so you need to be able to like rise above it and like analyze it. So you might want to go to therapy, counseling, you know, learn about psychology, so you can actually almost take a step back and be like, oh, this happened, this emotion came up, and then this thought came up. That's interesting. To be, you know, the observer self. So I would definitely suggest meditation, or again, whatever can help make you step back and just kind of look at the patterns of your mind and emotions and how it's all connected, okay? Let's do one more big advice card. The Princess of Swords. I would definitely learn about psychology and how the mind works. I think maybe a part of you is a little bit nervous, but you'll do it. It doesn't matter even if you don't know anything about psychology. Just start somewhere. Be curious, inquisitive, and ask questions. And when you hear an answer, don't just be like, yes, that's true, or no, that's not true. Just be like, Maybe yes, maybe so. Just keep an open, flexible mind. I know it's easier said than done. And I hope that was helpful. Let's move on to collective. Hello, my beautiful collective. All right, so what does the collective need to know, that's you, for November? Interesting. Wow. First things first, something completely unexpected is going to happen. It might have something to do with, in the past, a decision that's being made, some sort of legal aspect, just decisions, laws, if there's any pending court cases, things like that to do with the law, things like that. Rules, it could be the rules and policies within an organization. Okay, that's the energy in the past that's moving into this, okay? So the outcome is something completely unexpected is going to happen, okay? You are coming up as the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands has this amazing, creative, fiery energy and is just ready for battle, ready to fight the good fight, and that's a great energy to have. The thing is, you're facing away from what you need to know. I feel like your attention is directed in the wrong direction. Yes, this is a good energy to have, but it's almost like trying to put out a fire in a house and the fire hose is on the lawn or the wrong house. Do you know what I mean? Like the energy is almost like being wasted. The energy that's needed, I think that would be a bit more needed, is like a grounded energy, making sure that you're getting your food, getting out in nature, your relationships are secure, your finances are secure, stuff like that, right? That's the energy around you and around the world to a certain degree. What you need to know is art, temperance, so to be patient. There's something that you're just gonna have to wait for. We're gonna have to wait for. Things are changing, things are blending, but it is really like this universal balancing that's happening right now. And it might be manifesting in crazy ways. There's gonna be something that happens that's stressful, part of the correction. It is a correction, a rebalancing. This is a good thing. However, it's going to cause a little bit of stress. People arguing maybe in your life, people arguing, social media is always crazy, and maybe feeling like a little bit attacked from like words and text and things that are written, could be things on social media as well. And we are being aspected by the Tower. So something is gonna fall apart. We're not gonna expect it. We're not gonna see it coming. The thing with the Tower, okay, every single time anyone gets the Tower, in my opinion, any readings at all, this is almost like the Tower of Babel. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but like, you know, people, they thought that they had to build a physical tower to get to God, right? But that's not how you get to God. You don't physically go up to the sky, you know, it's within. The kingdom of heaven is within. And sometimes we'll move in a particular direction in our life that we think is good, we think is stable, and we think it's long lasting, and then the universe is like, no, that's not going to work. That's not the greater plan for you, all right? And it's gone. So, interestingly enough, okay, so one, it might make you feel a little bit down, but I think it's also going to make you feel a lot more in touch with your emotions and deciding, you know what, I'm going to make more decisions based on what feels emotionally right. This might have something to do with work, okay? And, or some sort of project, something to do with finances, where you live, stuff like that. This is cool. So the outcome, this is so cool. By the way, the outcome is fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, totally unexpected, okay? But it's being aspected by the Chariot. So this could actually represent you or someone else. It could represent, you know, someone almost like coming to your rescue who has the mental tenacity and fortitude to like move forward and be like, nah, that's not happening. But it could also be you or that aspect as well. So I feel like this change is going to bring forth like a focus, a motivation, a drive to accomplish, to be successful. And that's 100% happening because that's a major arcana card. Okay, let's get a few advice cards. The first advice card is to pray and make sure that you understand the organization that you work in or the belief system of your culture, your community, your society, your family, any type of religion that religious belief aspect that, you know, is part of our society or our culture. But also know that just to look at things from a higher perspective, to try and see the big picture. The second advice card is the Empress, to know that we are royalty and we deserve the best, the good life, honestly, everything. And just to make sure that we always have our dignity, that we have almost like a regal aspect of ourselves, like we are royalty, and to just behave in that manner. The third advice card is the Seven of Cups, that there was some smoke and mirrors, some poison that had gotten into the system in a way, and emotionally at least. And this was not a good thing. This was a toxic situation. Let's do one more big advice card. The Eight of Wands, swiftness. So when you feel these intuitive messages, you're going to get a lot of intuitive messages. Sorry, I got cut off. So definitely listen to these intuitive messages because you will be guided in, it's almost going to be like kind of obvious, all of these coincidences are synchronicities pushing you in a certain direction. One more big advice card for all of us for this month. The Fool. It's okay to take risks. It's okay to try something new. It is okay to metaphorically, energetically, just like jump off a cliff. And hopefully you have a parachute. But do you know what I mean? Like just to take a big risk, to try something new, to have a clean slate. That's okay. It's going to be brand new. Okay, last one. Yay, Nine of Discs. We are going to, if we're worried about like finances or physical health or where we're going to live, security, stuff like that, we will get it. We will get like the maximum amount as an individual, because it's different amounts when you're in a partnership, but maximum as an individual. Well done. If you enjoyed that, please, like, share, comment below. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like a private reading, all that information's in the description. Have a great and blessed November. Bye.